Here comes Mr. Nobody walking down the...
Hello, everybody. So today I am asking the question, why does the Model 24 sound better than the DP32 20 and the 2488? Because we did that one song, 3 console challenge, and not overwhelmingly, but a lot of people, including me, felt that the Model 24 just sounded better. So now there's 2 points with the Model 24 that may be the reason. So the first one is the preamps. So now if you go onto the Tascam website, they actually have a link from the Model 24 to the preamps. And then they talk about the different ones, the HDIA, the high definition instrumentation architecture. So that's the highest one. That's the greatest one. They only have one product that actually uses it. I'll show it to you here. So let's just go over, and then if you get this Series 8P Dyna, you get that awesome preamp. So that's the high end one. That one. I have no idea how much that is. I'm not going to worry about it. The one that we're going to talk about today is, so the Model 24 uses the Ultra HDDA, which is high definition discrete architecture, and it says, well, type is discrete, using discrete components. A Darlington circuit and constant current power supply circuit is adopted. The first stage of the microphone amplifier of this architecture allows the input signals to be less affected by the impedance fluctuation of the power supply and offers a wide gain range with improved CMRR and S/N ratio. I have no idea what those are, so let's look down here. So CMRR is common mode rejection ratio, is the measure of the ability to remove, I'll slide it up a bit so you can see it. Oh, you can see it now. Remove the input noise components and balance input amplifiers and or other equipment. Interesting. And then the CN is the signal noise ratio. The signal noise ratio is another important parameter. This expresses the performance of audio equipment. It compares the signal level to the amount of noise that comes with it. The higher the value, the greater the 0 dB, the less noise is obtained. So that is what the Model 24 uses. The DP32 does not use any of these. I could not find what the DP32 uses. So, and then you have the HDDA, which is not as great as the Ultra. That's all I know. So if I look at Ultra HDDA, you see you got 2400 has it, 2416, 12. These USB, the audio interfaces. The Mixcast 4 has it. That's kind of interesting. So that's a podcast machine. And so all these ones have it. There's quite a few. And even this float field recorder has that preamp. So this is everyone that has this special fancy preamp. And then HDDA is under the Portacaptures, which is the little handheld ones. And then the field recorders, which is kind of neat. And so these mini studios, those are, again, podcast ones. And then some of the USB ones. So, it's kind of neat. And then, this is also for what is this? This is some kind of, it's a microphone adapter for a camera. So you got that as well. So I looked up DP32. As you can see, it says Tascam preamp. I couldn't find anything in there in the books, the specs, nothing. I was looking at pre. I looked at preamp, couldn't find anything. Looked up pre. You got preparation, compression. And then in here, you have compression, noise suppression, pre. So no preamp information. So now, how do we test? How can I prove this? Because that's the first one. So the preamps, are the preamps better? Okay, I'm gonna say most likely because they are actually touting them. They're saying, hey, look at these preamps. So that's part of it here. The other question is it because the Model 24 is an analog board? Like does that make a difference? Question there is, we can actually test that. So how do we test that? Very simply. So I'm going to take my song, Doing This For Me, the one that I did on the 3 machines. I'm going to export the Model 24 version and import it onto the DP32. Maybe for fun we'll do, oh no, I can't. That just hit me. I'm going to have, it would be a lot of work I have to change all the settings, and I don't want to do that. I have to change the sample rate. I don't want to do that. So scratch that one. 2488 is out. I was thinking about doing 2488. It's now out. But yeah, I will. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the recording of the Model 24, and I'm going to take the track recordings. I'm going to import it on the DP32. Now, what does that prove? Well, the simple fact is, I don't have a camera set up. I got this camera. Here we go. I got ET. Hello, ET. I'm going to put some googly eyes on this just for fun. So let's see. Can I switch over to that? Is this ET? This is ET. All right. So when you record on your Model 24, on the Model 24 and the Model 16, probably on the Model 12 as well. Now, the Model 12 is different. It's digital. This up to here is record. So all these ones are affected. So from the mic, the inputs, the gain, this is just the switch. That's doesn't really matter. And then your compressor. That is all that matters when you record. So all this, after this, it just goes straight onto the SD card. So I've recorded up to this point. So that is quite a bit of analog as well. Not as much as if I were to use the rest of the board. So now the question is, so what I'm going to do, now that I've got that cleared up, what we're going to do, I'm going to do another mix down. I've cleaned my Model 24 up. I was having trouble with it last time I did the mix down on it. If you recall, if you watch those videos, I'm going to put a link in the video just to so you guys can watch them again. When I was doing the mix down, because some of my channels were acting weird, my faders were acting weird, and so, and I was talking to Quest for Gear. He's having issues with his Model 24 that's so bad that he has brought it back to get repaired to find out what the heck's wrong with it. I have not hit that point. Mine is working fine. I did a whole string of tests on it today. I did a sound check on everything. I ran just a straight white noise, not white noise, but like a straight note through the whole system to see if anything was wrong. Everything's fine. So we're going to do a mix down on this. We're going to do a mix down on the DP32 using the Model 24 tracks to see if there is an actual issue with not an issue, if there is an actual difference for the analog part of the recording. Because yeah, the Model 24, everything was clear. Every track just sounded clearer. So that is what we're going to do today. So let's see how this works out. And yeah, so I'm not going to bore you with the exporting and all that stuff. I'm just going to go directly into when I'm doing the final mix down. No, even that, I don't know. No, I'm not even going to bother with that. We're just going to do a final listen after I'm done everything. And I will tell you, I won't tell you which is which. We'll just see. And then at the end of the video, I'll probably end up telling you. But either way, so let's just do the mix downs, and then I will get to that point where we can test my theory. Okay, so a couple days have passed. As you can see, my beard has gotten a little shorter, my hair has gotten a little shorter. So what I did was to cut out all the nonsense on this recording. I just used the internal effects. So I set both to studio reverb. So there's not going to be anything fancy with them. I'm using the internal stuff. So that's all in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the songs now, let you listen to them. let you think how you want. I'm going to tell you exactly which ones are which. So it's not going to be an A, B, and then you got to figure out which one. Because I think at this point, you understand what's going on. I'm taking the Model 24 recordings, and I'm and then I'm finishing them off on both machines. So to try to keep it as fair as possible, as close as possible, all I did was I used on the DP32. I used the mastering. I didn't use mastering. I mixed down. That was it. Then I went and I used Audacity to adjust the volume for both of them, so they should be at the same volume level. And that was it. And then I just exported them from Audacity. So they're pretty much, so in that regard, they're pretty much the same. So the only big difference is one went through a digital system and the other one went through an analog system. So, excuse me. Let's see which one does what. Or which one sounds better, sorry. I used to write songs thinking I'd be famous, but here I am still a nobody. Now I write songs. I used to write songs thinking I'd be famous, but here I am still a nobody. Now I write songs. Okay, so I've given both a listen as well, and I've come to the conclusion that I think it's all preamps, really. I'm going to be honest with you. But I do find that maybe I'm just better at mixing on the DP32 because I like that one better. I thought my mix was better on the Model 24. But listening to it back through Audacity, it's like beside each other. I'm like, no, it's not. It's kind of tinny almost. But yeah, I will say that the preamps are definitely better on the Model 24 than the other Tascams. So if you're looking for really good preamps on a mixer like that, I go with the Model 24. But yeah, other than that, I do find the Tascam just did a better mixing job in the end. So, not Tascam, they're both Tascam. The DP32 did a better mixing job in the end than the Model 24. But that's my opinion. I'd love to hear what yours is. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.